On this episode, we speak to Sheila, who shares her pregnancy journey in Japan.
It was quite the opposite of most people's experience, because at the hospital, they were like, you should not be on a diet, you should eat more, you should...
She talks about the care at her hospital in Chiba.
They were not like very open to it, but
Sure.
at the same time, it's like, oh yeah, you know, this crazy foreigner with crazy ideas. Yeah. Let's just let her do whatever she wants, kind of thing.
And describe some of the ups and downs of her postpartum recovery.
I know a lot of people get like this baby blues, but I got like baby anger, I guess. I was angry at everyone and at everything. I don't know why.
Hello and welcome to Birth Stories of Japan. Hi Sheila, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. So do you want to get started with just introducing yourself and your family?
Sure. Well, my name is Sheila. I am from Honduras. Honduras is a small little country in Central America. I have been in Japan for about 7 years now, since 2016. We are a family of 3. My husband is a mixed race, Japanese and Honduran. And now we have Hikari, our daughter. She is almost 8 months old now. We live in Chiba Prefecture. Very close to Tokyo, but like on the outskirts, you know.
Yeah, totally. And what do you guys do for work?
My husband works with something related with vessels and, you know, ships and stuff like that. And I'm a language teacher. So
awesome.
I used to teach English. Now I'm teaching Spanish.
Yeah, awesome. And what brought you guys to Japan?
Well, since he's mixed race, since he has always lived abroad, like not in Japan, he wanted to experience some of the Japanese culture. And we were just dating. He told me like, yeah, let's go for a year to Japan, just have fun. And 1 year turned into 7.
Wow, that's so awesome. And then what was your journey like to pregnancy with Hikari?
Where do I start? Honestly, I never really knew if I wanted kids, you know. Like, I was not against the idea, but I never had like the urge to be a mom.
Sure.
When I was about, 17, 18, I knew that I had PCOS. So I started taking medication since then. Right. So I don't know. I never really thought about it, but like in the back of my mind, I thought, oh, maybe it's going to be difficult to have kids. I just had this idea here. Fast forward, COVID happened. After that, it's like, okay, we're in our 30s. Maybe it's a good time to start talking about this. And we decided that, let's try. Why not? We were not like really trying, like tracking everything, but just not being extremely careful. Nothing happened for about a year, maybe, a couple months.
Sure.
So after that, I started tracking my period and my body temperature, a lot of stuff. And after it was very easy. After like 2 or 3 months, I got a positive test.
Wow. And what was it like finding out?
I absolutely freaked out. I was like, oh my God, what is happening? I started crying. Like I was not sad or anything. I was just like confused, you know? And Hiroki, my husband, was like, oh my God, maybe she's not ready to have a baby. But no, it just lasted maybe a day or 2.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like really excited about it.
Yeah, awesome. And then, so how was your pregnancy from that point onwards?
Yeah. Well, I went to a hospital. to find a hospital, honestly, I just Google it. It's like, okay, this one is quite close, just a couple stations from my place.
I think we all start there, hey?
Yeah. And it has like decent reviews. So yeah, I'll go there.
Nice.
It was still way too early. Maybe I was 6 weeks gestational age. So they couldn't find a heartbeat or like really seeing if something was in the sac.
Right.
So the doctor told me like, yeah, just come next week and we'll see. But that week I got COVID.
Oh no.
Yeah. So in my blood work, they could see like the what is it called? This hormone HCG hormone, So they could see that the levels were high in my blood work, but they couldn't find like an embryo, I guess.
Yes. Sure.
Nothing in the sac. So I called the hospital. It's like, yeah, I'm supposed to go tomorrow, but I have COVID. So what do we do? And they were very nice to me. Because they register somewhere, I don't know, maybe with the health ministry or I don't know.
Sure.
That I had COVID, and they sent a prescription to a drugstore, like to a pharmacy nearby, and they deliver medicine to me. Like,
oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yeah.
They were very, very nice. They were like every day sending me some text messages so I could input my body temperature and like a lot of things. So they were very nice, and that's why I decided to stay with them.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's such a good sign. Yeah, looking after you straight from the beginning. And what's the name of your hospital?
It's a Yamaguchi Women's Hospital in Funabashi.
In Funabashi. Awesome.
Funabashi in Chiba. Yeah.
And then how was the rest of your pregnancy? Did you have any morning sickness or?
Oh yeah, it was terrible for about, I think my pregnancy was very healthy. It was overall uneventful.
Awesome.
But the first 4 months were just terrible. Like I would throw up maybe twice or 3 times a day. I lost a lot of weight. So it was quite the opposite of most people's experience, because at the hospital they were like, you should not be on a diet, you should eat more, you should not. Like for the first 4 months I lost maybe 3 or 4 kilos.
Gosh,
which is not normal,
yeah,
like usual, right?
Yeah, normally they're very much telling you, stop gaining weight, you're gaining too much.
Exactly. But they're like, the doctors and the nurses and midwives were like, you should not be on a diet. It's like, I'm not. I'm trying to eat.
Oh, no.
And besides that, it was very nice, uneventful.
Awesome.
Like from one day to the other, the 4th month mark, I just stopped having morning sickness.
Perfect. And did you take any antenatal classes or go to any lessons?
Not in Japan, because at my hospital they were still like very strict regarding like COVID restrictions. So they only sent me like a few links with videos.
Okay. Right. In Japanese or?
In Japanese. I got some other links from my city hall, and I took like a class from someone in Spain. It was in Spanish.
Oh, nice.
And I really liked it. There's some people who like want to like go all the way with like a medicated birth, and some others who want like to give birth at home. And I didn't know what was my position. I was like, I'm just clueless in here. But I took this course, and they were really like, I don't know, like, yeah, your body is strong and you should give birth at home, and like you're designed to do this and blah blah blah.
Right.
And honestly, it really helped me because I started like trusting in my own body. It's like, I'm not gonna die giving birth,
Yeah.
So that was very positive. But at the same time, it made me like think about all the things that my hospital was not giving me.
Oh, interesting.
Because I
Yeah.
never thought about it, but then I took these courses like, okay, so I cannot use, I don't know, aromatherapy at my hospital, or
Mm.
I'm not free to move at my hospital. So what am I going to do
Ah,
because I already choose this place?
I
So
see.
yeah, I started thinking about all these things. It's like, oh, maybe they are not going to be respectful enough. Now I know that I don't know, an episiotomy, like the cut, is not
Mm-hmm.
extremely necessary or not necessary all the time.
Mm.
But at my hospital, it's a regular practice. So now, what do I do?
Oh,
So
wow.
I kind of panic a bit
Uh-huh.
for a
Sure.
bit, like, because I at the time I was like 28 or
Mm-hmm.
30 weeks. Um,
Mm.
so it's like, yeah, it's not in Japan.
Yeah.
It's not a good time to change hospital.
And then what
um,
did you end up doing?
I talked to a midwife. Like every single appointment, I will ask
Mm.
questions. Like to, I don't
Nice.
know, to the doctor, I was like, "So, what is your episiotomy rate in here?" And they were like, 99%."
Oh my
Like,
gosh, wow.
and I was like, "But what can we do if I do not want one?" And they were like, "Oh, but it's your first baby, so maybe you'll need it." But so at least we started
Mm.
like the conversation.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, then I had this meeting with a midwife, and she told me like, okay, there are some things that we can like negotiate, like if you want
Nice.
music, as long as it's like very long volume, it's fine.
Mm.
Or okay, you cannot use like an aroma diffuser, but you can bring like cotton balls with essential oils.
Nice.
So yeah, like we did negotiate a bit.
Yeah, that's so awesome that they
Hmm.
gave you a bit of leeway because I know that
Yeah,
some mums are very scared and sometimes they feel like they get talked down to, like, no, 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 it's
yeah.
impossible. But I'm so glad that, yeah, you were able
I
to
mean,
negotiate.
yeah. They were not like very open to it, but
Sure.
at the same time, it's like, oh yeah, this crazy foreigner with crazy ideas. Yeah, let's just let her do whatever she wants, kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then, so your third trimester and then going into labor, how was
Hmm.
that?
Well, I was still very active. I was still working and
Mm,
working out a bit.
nice.
Like, um, then when I was 40 weeks, like
Mm.
just on my, what is it called? Like due
On your
date?
due date, yeah.
On my due date, I started having contractions. They were not very strong, but they were like every 10 minutes probably. So
Mm-hmm.
we called the hospital. I didn't want to do it because I wanted to be at home as long as possible. But also, my husband and my mom were like very nervous, and they
Mm.
were like, "No, the book says that we should call when they are 10 minutes apart." So we did it. The nurse told me like, yeah, you have breakfast, take a shower, and
Mm.
then come whenever you finish, then come. I went in, the doctor checked me, and I was just like 2 centimeters dilated, but he said that labor had already started, so that I should stay there.
Mm.
I didn't
Mm.
like it because at
Right.
first, when I talked to the midwife at 34 weeks, they told me like, yeah, your husband can help you,
Oh, okay.
like writing all the paperwork and stuff, because I cannot write kanji. Like I
Yeah,
speak conversational Japanese,
sure.
but I cannot write. So he was supposed to help me, but
Yeah.
then they were like, no, you should stay outside.
Oh,
It's like
no.
you go by yourself, and I was like reading all this paperwork with Google Translate, with the camera.
Oh,
It was very stressful.
yeah.
Also, I was emotional because, well, I was in labor.
Yeah.
So
Your mind is kind of in other
yeah,
places, hey?
exactly. It's like, yeah, I cannot translate these things and signing stuff. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, I was sent to a room, like a shared room
mm-hmm.
for labor. Like, I don't know, it was maybe for 4 or 5 people. It was just a bed, and all my stuff was in like a supermarket cart. kind of thing next to me. And yeah, well, I got all the monitors and I was just settled there. And they told me, yeah, you watch TV, just don't move, just wait, relax. And I didn't like that.
Right.
Like, no, I don't want to be just like laying on my back.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I want to do something. I don't know, to relieve pain, or I don't know, just to be entertaining there.
Yeah.
So yeah, the nurses and midwives were always like scolding me, like, you move too much, like your monitor is going like from here, going places like here and there. So yeah, they were kind of upset with me for a while. So yeah, that was it. The whole day passed, and at around 9 p.m. Oh, that was 9 a.m., right?
Yeah.
When I got into the hospital, when I got admitted. Then at 9 p.m., like, contractions started like getting stronger.
Wow, yeah.
And yeah, and closer in time. I remember that I really wanted to pee, and I couldn't. Like, when I was on my back, I felt like the urge to pee. But then I went to the bathroom, and I just couldn't, and it was painful.
Wow.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I think the baby was really low also.
Oh, okay.
And I just remember it was very, very painful and stressful. So at like 5 a.m., a midwife came to check me. And I told her, like, can you please just put, what is it called? Catheter?
A catheter.
Yeah. And take this out, because I just cannot stand it anymore. So she did. She was very nice.
Nice.
She did, and I was like, can you also check my cervix? Because they did not check at all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Sure.
And she was like, yeah, you're about 3 centimeters. Oh. And 24 hours had already been gone.
Gosh.
So I was like, oh my goodness, I have not slept in 2 days.
Yeah. Far out.
Like, the contractions were bearable, but painful.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, yeah, I cannot do this. Like, if you tell me I'm 8, yeah, sure, I can wait a couple hours.
Yeah.
But 3, what's going on? It was a Saturday. I asked for an epidural. It's like, is it still possible? I know I haven't made a reservation, but it's still possible. And she told me, like, yeah, sure, no problem. The doctor comes at 8. And yeah. But you need to, like, read these things and sign these forms. My husband was right outside the hospital, like, the whole time, like, right outside. And they were like, yeah, but it's going to take some time because someone from your family needs to sign it too. And I was like, yeah, my husband is right outside. And of course, at that moment, my brain was not working properly. So I was like, yeah, I don't understand what you're saying. Can you use, like, easier words in Japanese?
Sure.
And then I just called him, like, on FaceTime. He was like, yeah, I just come in and sign all this paperwork. And he was not supposed to be there. But the midwife was, like, what I liked about the hospital is that I felt like they broke some rules to help me or to make me feel comfortable, right? So she was like, you know, you're not supposed to be here, but I'm just going to, I don't know, get some copies, some photocopies. And he stayed for like an hour while she was getting copies.
Yeah. Aww.
So they were nice.
So they were lenient in some places. Awesome.
Yeah. Also, like, I was by myself at that time. Like, that was also very frustrating, of sharing a labor room. Like, moms will come in and out, in and out, in and out. Like, it's like everyone's having their babies, and I'm still here, not progressing. So yeah, I got the epidural as soon as the doctor got there, at around 8 in the morning. And after that, it was just fantastic. I fell asleep. I had lunch, then I fell asleep again. And at around, I don't know, 1:32 p.m., I was already 8-9 centimeters dilated, and I didn't know that. So yeah, initially I was totally against like getting any drugs. Because I had been reading about, I don't know, so many problems that can derive from an epidural.
Yeah.
But in the end, like in my experience, it was just great.
Awesome.
I didn't feel a thing. I didn't have like any, I don't know, side effects. For me, it was great, but I know for some other people, it's not so good. So
yeah. Yeah. As long as you're happy with your decision, that's all that matters.
It was good. So when I got the epidural, I was transferred to like a private room because they were monitoring me closely.
Little laugh is the cutest.
So yeah, they were monitoring me closely, and I had like this old lady. She was so nice and kind of like clumsy.
Oh yeah.
But so nice. She offered to give me some more, I guess, anesthesia. I don't know, whatever they were putting in me.
Yeah.
The medication, right? So I thought, oh, is it possible like to ask for more? And she was like, yeah, like as many times as you want. Every 30 minutes we can give you a shot. I was like, oh my god, this is fantastic. So so she cut it. It was just nice. I didn't feel a thing. Very relaxing. And after like 3-4 minutes, I just hear like a gush, and my water completely broke, like in a movie. It was like so I called the nurses. They came, and it was like, oh my god, yeah, this is a lot. So they were like coming in and out to get things to clean. And then when she was just getting into the room, I started like throwing up. I don't know why. I felt like my epidural was like at the highest point, right? I was not feeling a thing. And then suddenly I feel like a strong contraction, and I can see in the monitor that is like just going up, and I throw up, and this little lady turns into like a I don't know, Grey's Anatomy doctor, and start like pushing buttons and put like an oxygen mask on me. And she's like, breathe this way, blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
I don't know. I really, to this day, I don't know what happened. But like she opened my legs, and I thought that she pushed the baby a bit back. I don't know if that's a thing or if it's possible, but it's what I felt. Honestly, I don't know what happened. And she was like, okay, it's go time. And they transferred me to a labor room, which was more like, I don't know, like a doctor's office. It was just like the chair there.
Wow.
Yeah, that was kind of strange because it felt like an office, but it was a labor, like a delivery room.
Yeah,
it was a delivery room. Of course, I was not feeling a thing. I could not feel contractions. I could not feel anything. And they were like, okay, I'm sorry, you have to do this by yourself.
Wow.
There's no time for your husband to come. And I was like, but he's right outside. And they were like, okay, just tell him to come in. So yeah, like within 5 minutes he was there. And like the whole what is it called, like the pushing part of the
pushing
delivery
session.
was maybe 40 minutes. I guess that's kind of fast. They were like, okay, we need to get this baby out because her heart rate dropped by, I don't know, half. So we need to do an episiotomy. Like they needed to cut.
Okay.
I don't know. It felt good that at least they consider that I didn't want one, and they asked for permission at the moment. Okay. Like the doctor just like didn't just cut. He was like, we know you don't want this, but it's necessary. So I was like, yeah. I mean, it took like 1 second, that consent, but at least they asked for it. So
of course,
that was good. It felt good. That
nice.
They used a vacuum to take her out. So
okay.
she had like a cone in her head.
Sure.
But it dropped after a few days. But honestly, I don't know. It's kind of strange to me, like just remembering all of this, because honestly, I cannot say that I know what a natural delivery and labor feels like, because I could not feel a thing. And I know that some other people who get an epidural feel something, right? But I could not feel anything, because it was like, honestly, like the medication was at its highest at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
that was it. I could not feel a thing.
Wow. And then do you want to say how long your labor was?
In the Boshitecho, they said it was 19 hours. It felt longer, but that's the official record.
Awesome.
There was another thing that I didn't like about the hospital, and it was a misunderstanding, maybe, I don't know. But when I talked to the midwife at 34 weeks, they told me, like, yeah, we encourage like breastfeeding and kangaroo care. So I thought kangaroo care is skin to skin as soon as she's born. I really, really wanted that.
Right.
But they did not do that. And for them, kangaroo care is taking the baby, clean her, do whatever they have to do. But when she came back, she was all swaddled. And it's like, I don't know, I was just hugging her, and I stayed with her for an hour. And I really enjoyed it, but it was not what I was expecting.
Do you want to talk about your postpartum recovery? How was that?
Yeah. I think overall it was good. I mean, I know a lot of people get like this baby blues, but I got like baby anger, I guess. I was angry at everyone and at everything. I don't know why. It's so strange to think about it. My mom was here. She came for like 3 months to stay with us. So I remember one day she was like, just give me the baby and go have a nap. And I was like, no, it's my baby. I want to be with her. You don't have to, you don't get to enjoy her if I'm not enjoying being with her. And my mom was like, yeah, you're right. You should go and have a nap. I was like, yeah, I'll go have a nap with my baby.
Wow, that's so interesting.
A lot of episodes like that. It was the most ridiculous little things, but I was so angry at everything.
Wow.
In there, they had this chart, and I was supposed to wait my baby, then breastfeed her, then wait her again, and write in the chart. Oh. And the scale was in the hallway, so I had to get out of my room. It was just way too difficult to do. And, the hospital's position was like, yeah, we know you want to breastfeed, so do it, but here's a bottle just in case. So I would always have bottle with formula in my room. Like every 2 hours, a nurse will come and like, here's the bottle. So I would just give her the bottle. Then we came home. I tried to breastfeed her. Probably, I don't know, my latching or positioning or something was off. And it was hell. It was extremely painful. I tell my husband that, I'm kind of selfish, but I'm not gonna let this kid just, I don't know, crack my boobs, my nipples, right? So during the day, I don't know, I was in a better mental state during the day, I think. I had more patience and everything, so we tried breastfeeding directly, and at night I would just give her bottles with breast milk. So we did that at like the 2 weeks mark. I tried to contact a breastfeeding consultant, but she was very busy, so we could never get an appointment. Maybe at 4-week mark, a Japanese consultant came, and she helped me a lot with like positioning, but it was not quite right yet. It was still painful, not as much as before, but it was still uncomfortable. And luckily, one of my cousins sent me an article from, well, it's only in Spanish, but it was from, what is it called? La Leche League. This is like this breastfeeding group. And this article was about like the baby's reflex to latch.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Like that babies can latch on their own. If you put them like on the mom's chest right after they are
They'll
born,
find it.
they will find it.
Yeah.
So I knew about it and I didn't get the chance to do that.
Sure,
But
yeah.
this article said that babies somewhat keep this reflex until they are about 5 weeks. So that if you didn't get the chance to do it at the hospital, do it as soon as you get home. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's already 4.5 weeks. What do I do? Come on. So, so yeah, it was probably like the last chance, but it did work.
Wow,
It did work.
amazing.
When she was calm and fed, I would just put her on my bare chest, and yeah, she find her way, and it worked.
That is
And it was not
incredible.
painful. So it's like I always tell my husband, like, I feel very proud of us, but especially of her, because like she did the work. At the end,
Yeah.
she did the work. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
So yeah.
I'm so glad to hear that it all
Yeah.
worked out in the end.
Yeah. And then, well, we're still breastfeeding.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so do you remember how much it cost and if you got any gifts
Yeah.
or vouchers from the government?
I don't know.
Sure.
Probably a birthing there is like 480, I think. But I
Okay.
got a private room and epidural, which was 100,000.
Sure.
At the end, it was how much? 650.
Yeah.
650,000. I got 500,000 from the government. So I pay the rest, 160. And after a couple weeks, I got 100,000 from my local government.
Yeah, awesome. Did that come in vouchers or was that just like money, direct deposit?
Direct deposit.
Oh, like, wow. Awesome.
Yeah, cash.
It's bottle time. What was the most helpful things others did for you while you were going through your angry postpartum stage?
Well, my mom was telling me that, yeah, you're right. Like she never fight with me. Like she never told me, oh, why you're being like that, or no. She was like, yeah, you're right. It's your baby. Go. Or do whatever you want to do. She was very calm all the time, and I really appreciate that. My husband was very, very supportive. I remember one day I was angry at something. I don't know. I really don't know why. But he was like, you want Domino's pizza, right? Let's order pizza. And I was like, yeah, I want pizza. So he's very good at reading like my feelings. And what I need. So he was always like that. Very, very supportive. Like this, these little things. Like, you don't want to eat more soup and healthy things, right? You want Domino's pizza.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was very, very nice of them.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Yeah. And I'll ask one more. What's been the most helpful advice or resource you've been given as a first-time mama?
Wow, that's difficult. I guess another people's experiences. That's good. Like just hearing their stories and what they do without like any judgment. Like, because I hate advice, like unsolicited advice. Sure. I was also always angry at unsolicited advice. But I am very open to like just hear other people's stories, like their own experience without any judgment. So I like that from my cousins. I like that from some people online. Yeah. Regarding breastfeeding, like these La Leche League articles are very good. I think it really helped, like being around people whose like parenting style I like.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
It's like, awesome. I don't know. For example, I like how my cousin is treating her children. Yeah. So ask her, because I like what I'm seeing here. So I ask you for advice, or I ask you for, I don't know, any recommendations, things like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just be surrounded by people you like. And also, if you don't have like physically anyone who's like, I don't know, parenting or whatever thing you like, Just, I don't know, follow people online whose parenting style like you like, or there's a bunch of people out there.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you so much for sharing your story with us, and hopefully someone else will use your story as inspiration to help them with their own journey.
Well, thank you for doing this. It's been great hearing
My pleasure.
All episodes of your podcast.
Cool. Oh, I'm so glad. So if you'd like to hear more birth stories, please subscribe to this channel. Giving us a like also helps other moms see this video too, so please give us a thumbs up if you can. You can check out the description for more information about bits mentioned in this episode, but if you have any other questions or feedback, please leave a comment below or get in touch. And lastly, if you're a mama that has a story to tell, please send an email to birthstoriesjp@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.